Sup. Standing here with Tamika. She actually had just completed my non-lethal stuff, but she had did all the other stuff prior to. The reason I want to be on this side of the camera is because I see far too many testimony videos where it looks like somebody standing there like, yes, today was a perfect day. It was the greatest security trainer in the world. You guys come and see this guy because he's great. Nope, so we're going to get it from Tamika. I know she's going to tell the truth because she's been acting, I ain't going to say acting fool, that's a bad word in the Bible, but she's been acting up in class, keeping it real. So I like real people. Alright, so we're going to keep it real. We just got out of class. I got a meeting to go to. So we're going to have to make this rather quick, but we're going to make it natural. So, Miss Tamika, for everybody watching the video, first of all, tell them something. Just open it up. The floor is open.
Well, I'd like to start it off by saying Mr. Turner is an awesome instructor. In many ways, somebody that's very knowledgeable, been there, done that, instead of just being straight textbook. And he can relate what you're learning to real life experiences. And it's a fun class too, you know, you still have fun and laugh and joke, but at the same time take care of business.
What was your favorite part? If you had to tell somebody what the favorite part was, what would you say?
Watching people getting tased. Crying like a baby. No, but no, that's for real. But okay, let's see. Outside of that,
oh, you just serious? I'm just serious.
Well, watching the videos too, like I said, real life scenarios that actually has happened and things that you're learning in class and seeing it in real life. Like I said, it's not just, okay, well, when you go out, you're going to do X, Y, and Z, or this can happen. We're actually watching YouTube videos of different things, or he's bringing out real life situations that has happened to him personally. So I think that's actually a great experience because, especially if you're a visual learner.
Alright, so one question that no instructor likes to ask because they always want to be perfect. What are some things that you would like to see, not, I would say change, but some things that you can give as improvement to show that we are a real institution. This is realistic. This is real life. Nobody's perfect. So, I mean, if you don't have anything, you don't have anything. But I want you to be realistic on some things that you might like to see a change or might see more of.
With yourself or companies in general?
Or just in training, just in EPSTA training.
Actually, I think training is important. Actually, it's not repetitive. You're not going over the same thing over and over again. And like I said, it's going back again. Keep saying the same thing, but going back again is relating it to real life situations. A lot of times you're sitting in class and you're just, okay, read this page, next page, read this page, next page, and you're taking turns reading, and then all of a sudden you're taking a test. And how are you going to just memorize all that stuff? You don't even know what you're reading half of the times, I mean, if that's the case. You know, so like I said, I think that visual aspect actually really helps you out a lot. And then you joke around too, and even with your class, have different scenarios take place between you all too, and that's really great, you know.
Alright, one thing that people don't know about you, I'm about to put it out there. She comes from the most anti-gun city in America, Chicago. She was one of the few people to actually have a gun permit in Chicago. Tell everybody, since you actually have done some training elsewhere, and they actually got long gun training, surprisingly, in her security training in Chicago. Tell everybody what you see as a standout point, because now you have something to compare to. And I really like comparing my training to other people's, but just as somebody watching the video like, oh, why go to Turner? Tell them some standout things that were here that were not there, or, you know, just kind of edge on that.
The more personal experience. Usually your classes are roughly, can be anywhere maybe about 15 people in a class sometimes, you know, so I think that personal experience, more one-on-one action, interaction with you, making sure that you know what you're doing instead of, okay, everybody do this, at the same time. You're going from one person to the next person and making sure, okay, if you're doing something wrong, let me correct you. Let me show you how to do this the right way, because at the end of the day, real situations do happen. When we get out of class, Mr. Turner or your next instructor, whoever it is, they're not going to be around. You're by yourself. So if you're not training properly, how do you know what you're supposed to do in real life situations? Obviously, if you're training wrong, you're going to go out and in a real life situation and not present yourself in a way and end up getting hurt, shot, or killed, or anything else, or somebody else. So I think that proper training helps and gets you prepared for real life situations.
It's actually a very valid point you just brought up, and I'm glad you touched on it because I didn't have to. You said that now, away from the instructor, you can be prepared. Do you think that you were given, even though it's a basic class, are you given enough to go out there and make rational decisions, not relying on an instructor, or not relying to look back at something else and say, what do I do now?
I think it goes back to the scenarios. Even like I said, watching. Excuse me.
It's real.
Even like I was saying, watching the videos, that helps because you're seeing other people under stress, or shall I say, in stressful situations that your average person would be stressed in. I'm glad to do that over it.
No, we don't do over in this class.
Oh, so watching the videos, it actually helps a lot because those are actual real life situations that's taking place. You're seeing robberies taking place. You're seeing what security officers, or even police officers for that matter, doing right or wrong, and maybe how they just injured themselves or their partner, in which ways could have been avoided. And when you go back and you in that situation, it's like a flashback of the things that you saw, where now you're capable of putting yourself in that. That's just like if you was playing a video game constantly, So I think that visual aspect really helps.
All right, and for you guys that is not really understanding the concept of what you're talking about, is basically the model that we have here is to make sure that you see something firsthand, so you don't make the same mistake out there in the field. What they got to see in this class a lot of is seeing a lot of officers making a lot of bad mistakes. But what I tell them, we can't Monday morning quarterback, but we can use it as a great training tool to make sure we don't make those same mistakes, all right? And the whole purpose or goal is for my officers and my students to never come out of here making the same mistakes I made, the same mistakes another officer made to lose their life. I would much rather my students tell me, I've never pulled my gun once in combat. I've never pulled my gun once on a person good.
One thing that just came to mind, one thing that I really liked about this class too, usually security classes don't really go into depth of the laws on the safety of yourself when you are put into situations. And so in this class, there was things that I learned, and I've taken several classes so that I was not aware of. So I think he really stresses on knowing how to protect yourself, period, with the law. And even if you get into situations where you might have to go to court, So I thought that was very, very, very beneficial over a lot. I mean, because anything can happen. It doesn't matter if you have a weapon or don't have a weapon, Trouble, it's the law, So if you don't know the law, then you're in trouble. So I thought that was very helpful, very, very helpful, and can be used in other situations, even outside of doing security.
All right, so to end it here, the purpose of this video, the purpose of the interview is to show you guys, don't ever allow me to make the decision for you. All right, do your research, find out who you're going to take class from, and make sure that you get yourself into a place where you're going to learn something and get something from it. If you're not making a decision for yourself, or you're getting lied to, or getting stuff put out there, that's a problem for you. You can blame nobody but yourself. Anyhow, guys, you know who I am and how I am, so you know I love you. Y'all stay blessed, and y'all always win the freaking fight.